Welcome to Loleventvods. This is the full VOD of today's NLC Winter 2025 matchup.
Oh, he doesn't
I
play that
know.
one. But Gragas is available. Vados is available. They played with Corki. They're now the ones removing the Corki, leaving the Vados available if possible. Goodbye,
That's
Victor.
a good Victor ban. Yeah, I like it because right now Victor and Varus are having such a high prior in the peak selection. So Los Ratones already like maybe looking into a possibility of Varus' second pick, but now with Victor removed, Lightside have the opportunity to snatch it for themselves for the Rusty Sniper who has been playing it. But no, they go for Wukong, another high prior jungler.
That's interesting, yeah, because Varus is a very high priority bot laner, and you've already seen 3 bot lane bans. So to not pick that up on the first option there is certainly a choice. We'll see how that plays out for Lightside. The Galio coming in from Los Ratones. I think this is going to be an LR special, to be honest, because he's not overly meta right now. He's certainly very solid, but the fact that you can flex this between mid and top, you already saw Nemesis play this today, right? And I think this is a little bit of a bait, to be honest, right? This is a bit of a bait for Ratones saying, yo, pick that Varus then, bro. Pick it. Because if you pick Varus into Jarv and Galio, which is what I would imagine, like, Ratones might do in this third pick, right? Assuming Wukong's a jungler, Lightside won't pick their Jarvan of their own. Now this is tricky, right? Now this is really tricky for Lightside because they want to pick an ADC that can maybe move around a little bit more and not get caught out by whatever wombo combo Galio is going to get set up with, whether it's a Jarvan or something else.
And not only that, I would just like to add, because you know I'm a chaotic host, Reckless can pull this off as well. There might be a world where the Galio can go to the bot lane. I know it's kind of weird, but it's possible. Cassante Wukong, that's a lovely combo. You already have the front line. You have Engage as well. The follow-up, the Zaya, instantly like this. No support to pair it with. You can kind of bring something into the bot side. Maybe you can steal the love over a life, Rakan, to the hands of Reckless.
Do you still Rakan? No, you probably do still Rakan because you have some great disengage options right now. You have actually the tools as a light side to turn the fights around if Los Ratones are the ones engaging onto you, which is something they want to be doing with Galio and now with Poppy as well in their hands. Los Ratones with the Wukong and with the Zaya have the opportunity to survive the initial engage and then to turn the fight around because they would do rather fine in extended fights.
That's that Poppy lock-in right there. I mean, this is also a flex, but could be jungle, support, and top, right? Like we've seen it in all of these roles right now. And it's a really good counter engage against Wukong, right? Wukong has his Nimbus strike and that's it, right? So you pop down the steadfast presence and then suddenly Wukong can't engage. And I mean, we saw it last game actually with Bulldog. Kasing even mentioned it. Like, there's not... Wukong sometimes is relied heavily on his engage, and if you can stop that, I mean, so far what we're seeing from Lightside, he is their only engage. Yeah, you find a way to block that off, and suddenly you're looking happy here. So Orianna is going away for that ball delivery service with the Monkey, which makes a lot of sense because that can be pretty scary. Another scary wombo combo there as well. And it seems as though Lightside understand, they recognize, okay, don't have the greatest engage right now. If we go up against disengage, then it's all over. So get rid of Braum, get rid of that disengage style bot laner. And actually opting into the Rakan ban themselves.
I'm wondering, do you lock this in? This would be interesting. You kind of reveal everything as soon as you lock this AD up, aside from the jungle. But this is an interesting one coming in for Nemesis as well. You kind of have to. Now we're talking. I talked about this at the beginning of the show. Velja with this one.
Yes, the Velja special finally. I was
Yeah.
waiting for Viego, and it's only game 2, and we already get treated to Viego. So now we're getting a little bit more clear about where everybody is going. Still, Reckless Speak is going to explain a lot of us because I would love this Galio to be on the bot lane right now because they are bringing in Nautilus with the Braum pick. It makes a lot of with the Braum ban, so it makes a lot of sense that Lightside can pick the champion who is only afraid of Braum among the other supports. Now they have a strong engage on the bot lane. Now they have another strong engage to pair up with Wukong if anything goes wrong with their jungler because of that Poppy. What else do they add here? I want to see some consistent damage on the mid lane.
Yeah, that's the thing as well. I mean, Nautilus is great into someone like Ez, who's very slippery. And okay, we're going to get Rise. Now, that's quite interesting. Kind of throwing down the gauntlet a little bit there for Harbo in that in that mid lane, and Nemesis with this last pick, well, it depends on the flexes going on here. Ratones can decide to stick this Galio wherever they want it. I think that's quite ballsy there for Lightside. It's a very low range style mid laner as well, and it's something that I think the Ratones will be quite happy to play into. Viego, in my estimations, like I think he's pretty good into Ryze. He can get on top of Ryze, and yeah, you know, Ryze will want to prison him and phase rush away, but when you're combining the Viego with something like the Galio and Alice flying in as well, that can be tough to deal with. So pretty scary options right here for Ratones, all across the board.
This Poppy's value is extremely high versus that composition of Lightside. They kind of built into that as well, adding the Nautilus after the Poppy. But there you go. Boss is going to be the one piloting the Poppy. We already have the rosters complete. So you know the question that is about to ensue for the desk. Solari, Foxtrot, and the chat as well. I want to get your opinions. Who's going to win this one? But for Solari and Foxtrot, we have an ongoing game. Whoever wins this one will get something.
Do we get something in the end of the day, or like in the end of the whole?
On Los Ratones. As we go straight into the game, LLS versus Los Ratones. LLS are going to be on that blue side, and all eyes for me are on the two junglers. We have the two carries, Hybrid on the Wukong, and Velia on his very, very known Viego. Like, this guy climbed the ladders with this champion. So if anything, here's his time to show what he's made out of. And these two carry junglers are gonna need to feed off of priority lanes. They're gonna need to feed off of potentially even invading or trying to find some cheeky plays to take summoners away to try and get ahead in the early game.
Yeah, it's interesting as well, because Viego typically likes to play with a very bursty team, so you can get one kill very snappily and then steal the form and then move on to the next. But there is an argument that when you're playing a team that's this tanky and can play this much frontline, once you get that initial kill, you can kind of get the reset, get a full combo off, jump out, jump into the next, and kind of almost play a slower style. So not what you typically associate with a Viego play style, but it's very much an option here for the side of Los Ratones to kind of just play around Velia, playing a more slow and steady, steal the forms, go into the reset, and play it off that. Because you have a phenomenal amount of CC. There is so much CC on Los Ratones, and we saw last time, eventually, it took so long to kill Baus that the rest of the team could rock up to the fight after everything had been used on him, and then they'd go for the kill. So we'll have to see if Lightside are maybe a little bit smarter than that, and they're not just going to burn all their ultimates onto the top laner, and instead will look for the optimal picks and optimal ability to get that kill onto him.
I feel like the most optimal thing that Los Ratones can do here, as you mentioned, they do have a lot of CC. I think it's go for the Nautilus. It is the #1 suspect. Usually you see Nautilus either go 0-10 or go 0-5 and have a bunch of assists, which means that this is a very successful Nautilus game. I feel like right here, getting Velia that Nautilus on the first reset is going to snowball the fight so hard. And one wrong Q from Leo Lecargo right here could actually mean a lost team fight. So I'd like to keep a track of how many times maybe the Nautilus overextends or he gets a wrong Q onto a target and ends up going down for Los Ratones. I feel like this is a very easy way to try and snowball the fights later on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a bunch of relatively decent people you could steal here.
Yeah, I don't think you're
Winter
getting
as well.
Cassante down anytime soon, though.
No. I mean, you're getting that Cassante at the end of the fight, aren't you? Unless by some miracle he kind of overextends and gets blown up very quickly. But I very much doubt that, because like we said, Los Ratones have a relatively low damage comp. And it just feels like this was their week 1 plan. I'm curious to see what they cook up as the split goes on. Because one of the things I talk about quite a lot is, you know, an ability of a team to adapt and change. I think one of my major issues with Ruddy during summer last split was we didn't really see much change from them because they were kind of just crushing everyone. So they didn't really have to show us anything other than the playstyle we knew from them. So when we eventually did see it, it wasn't quite as clean as what we're used to. Now, Reckless actually using Ignite onto Rusty Sniper already doesn't get caught out by the Blade Cooler. And does lose a little bit of HP, but honestly, Rusty Sniper, happy with that. Didn't burn a pot, just got a chunk out of Reckless's health bar, and most crucially, burnt that Ignite early.
Yeah, and that bot lane dead even on the bot side of the map, which means now that Hybrid has to pivot towards the top side. Might find Nemesis right here. Does he fancy taking this fight?
Oh, they get a good taunt up, but Hybrid able to jump away using the clone. Velia. does have the chase down here onto Harbo, but Harbo a little bit low on mana.
fighting for
Does need to be careful.
They're fighting for that grab towards the top side of the map, and Harbo needs to be very careful because she no longer has the vision. However, Baus has to back. He's going to be TPing back into the wave. The Scuttle Crab is going to go towards the side of Hybrid. Of course, does have the smash. Going to take it down 1-1. Really good stuff right there. Nemesis insta push that mid lane. The second that bot lane Crab will taken away to try and transition Velia through that mid lane towards the top side Crab. It's not going to be the case, but right now, because Baus got that first teleport back towards the top side of the map, and now Winter needs to back, he gets to invade that top side. He's been pinged, and Wukong's already on his way, but I think Velia with the smite here will be long gone.
Right, well, Velia, maybe looking towards something on the top side with the teleport coming in. Just denying that from Highbrush is really big. Highbrush went for the reset. Velia did not, and loses a cap for it. Now Winter, she can take a little fight here versus Baus. Not really going to get much. And we haven't seen Baus do his proxy like we did in game 1.
A bit more difficult on that particular
Poppy.
matchup with the Poppy as well. Yeah, with the Poppy, you also have to gather the wave, Q it, the Q and the Q pop. Doesn't necessarily really one-shot the wave yet, so it's not as easy as with Cho'Gath, popping your 2 spells, one auto-attacking once, and then the whole wave basically dies. So I think it's going to be more of a traditional 1v1 in lane for now, for Baus versus Winter. Again, my eyes are pinned all to Velia, and looking at the fight that he chooses to take right here, I feel like bot lane is a very crucial part of where Viego usually wants to be. Again, being around the Nautilus, it's gonna peak for Viego, because getting to steal his soul, especially when Nautilus is not gonna be level 6 for the next fight to come, and Velia is going to be, I feel like this is the body that you're looking at to steal first.
I really like this from Lightside though. They got a good rotation off there into topside. Obviously knowing the grubs are important. Nemesis may find himself caught out. They get the taunt down. The flash comes down as well. And Lightside able to make an escape from it. Winter holds his own in the top side, and most crucially, an entire wave was lost there for the side of Los Ratones on the bot side, because we saw Rusty Sniper stay, shove the wave, and then rotate to join the rest of his team. So ultimately down a little bit in farm there for Los Ratones, as they are moving multiple people over to potentially get involved in a little scrap. Just having a quick look at where the 6s are at. A couple of people have their ultimates, but there's no really major ones up. And I think Lightside are recognizing they kind of want the Cyclone before they fight, so they just back off. They may go to steal one, though. Oh, big headbutt pole into the Galioar. Only going to catch onto the clone. Highbridge has to flash away. He's going to find himself caught out by Crownie as he secures first blood. Taunt comes down. Winter is trying to get out of this one as they're going to go in. In jumps Harbo, though, with the pillar, with the portal to get himself into the fight. Reckless is holding fast, but he finally goes down. Crownie not going to secure that one. It is a double kill for Leo Lacargo as well. So not even all that much gold getting given over to the right members. Oh, sorry, it's Velia.
It was Velia.
I got posted by Diego. I said it, looked at the scoreboard and went, that's weird. Yeah. It says he has a double kill, but he's 0-1.
So let's weigh things out. Both top laners level 6 have ultimates. What's more important, a Ryze ult or a Galio ult? I reply right here. It is a Galio ult. It gives you shield, the extra defenses as well. So great re-engage right here from Nemesis. Gets the 2 targets. They know they're stronger. Winter is super low into that Cassante, and Nemesis gets to walk away for free. And then it comes the Nautilus, is extremely squishy on level 4, and Reckless just about threaded the needle to try and get away from the pullback from the feathers. But you see that Rusty Sniper does manage to get one down, which kill actually goes to Harbo over to the Ryze. And now, the most important part is, we said, keep your eyes on the jungles. They're probably the most important cog in the machine of that early game for both teams. Currently, Velia on his Viego, about 1,000 gold up, 2 kills. They've gotten the entire bot side full of control as well. They're going to start the Dragon. Level 6 across the board for Los Ratones, and it's looking like another stronger.
Yeah, I feel like Lightside really wanted to wait for their ultimates before they took that fight. Not having the Cyclone, not having the Feather Storm, not having the Depth Charge.
They just all weren't on the same page. Like, half of them wanted to wait, who didn't have it, and half of them were like, but we have it.
Especially when, like, the Galio ultimate, it's a teleport, but it also has that kind of impact where it either buys space or, you know, gets that CC in, where Harbo, he just brought a couple of minions with him. That's all he really achieved with his ultimate. As Winter taking a fight here versus Baus. Baus able to completely stomp him there. Massive amount of damage down.
Baus is very aware that there is ultimate over on Winter, so he definitely does not want to take the 1v1 fight. Last person that did take a 1v1 fight, even with the health advantage, ended up paying the golden price versus the Cassante. So Baus being very careful right here not to take any disadvantageous fight towards Winter. Winter has the Q3 right there as well.
Oh, he might go for it. All out. He has got the ultimate. Baus able to knock him back. Sends that Cassante flying. Misses the cannon as well. -1.
Doesn't want to take none of this fight. Throws him out. Harbo taking control of the bot side of the map, pushing it out. That Ryze and the Cassante are the two that are most even in terms of gold on the map, mid and top lane. Extremely good champions, especially when you're looking towards that late game, protecting the Xayah, making sure that you push out the waves. Cassante and Ryze can stay extremely safe onto the side lanes, pushing out. A lot of damage coming through, AoE damage from Ryze, and also Cassante is an absolute monster in being an escape artist. Every single time he has to push through that side lane. The Archangel's coming through for the Ryze as well, which means a lot more damage getting stacked up for Harbo, who's also heading towards that top side of the map right now, together with support and jungle.
Velia. No one's aware of each other. The first to move is the one that reveals themselves. As Nemesis actually coming in. It looks like the collapse here from Los Ratones. Lightside find themselves in a bit of danger. They got a blast going to work with. They just blast into the middle of everyone. Hook goes wide. Taunt lands onto 2. Reckless not able to get the headbutt pole buff. But Rusty Sniper's firing down. Bits the feathers. Pulls in a couple of people. Crowny firing away. And Velia on a killing spree steals away the monkey. Harbo has to make a run for it. He's just going to ult over the wall into Leo Lacargo, but he gets himself caught out by Harbo. Harbo completely pumping the damage in, but finds himself knocked up. Velia steals yet another form. Looks for the hook, doesn't find it. And it's so close multiple times, but Lightside struggling to translate through the tankiness into kills.
Again, very simple, correct League of Legends coming through for another team. This time, Los Ratones right here. We mentioned how their damage profile is extremely low. And it's also primarily AD through the Viego and the Ezreal, but look at where all the kills have ended up on. Brownie down the bot lane and Velia in the jungle. Rusty might have to ult this one.
I think he might be in trouble. Goes to the Feather Storm, gets the pull back. They're underneath the tower. Rusty pops the barrier. Shut down in his pocket. Beautifully played by Leo. What a hook.
Great bait right there from Rusty Sniper. He saw his support getting very, very close. Baits Crowny to walk a little bit too far forward. Takes him down with him. Great stuff right there. However, again, reminder on the feats of strength right here, we did have the first blood go over to Los Ratones. And if I'm not wrong, this might actually be the third objective.
That's 5 grubs. If they can secure the last one, they are completely locked in, but the fight is on already. Reckless, low HP, but he's able to find himself a bit of damage. There's going to be the out from Baus to get them all out. Winter just kidnaps the Poppy underneath the tower, able to secure himself the kill. And so far, the grubs are still standing, but Leo being chased down. Harbo comes in with a lockdown. Can Leo keep himself alive? Hook comes through! Harbo! Gulf's able to secure the kill, finding the lockdown. Harbo goes in for the flash, but gets himself a shutdown in the pocket. Can he get away? No, looks like he's going to be able to. Jumps underneath the tower to safety. Rusty back into the fight, back into the action. 1 grub still standing. The feat of strength isn't completed yet for Los Ratones.
LLS are taking the fight to Los Ratones. They don't care about killing Baus on a side lane. They're willing to take the 4v4s, the 3v3s, whatever Los Ratones throw at them. And very importantly, stealing that Void Grub away, as you very rightfully mentioned, means that feats of strength does not go over to Los Ratones just yet. They do have the first blood, and they have 2 out of 3 neutral objectives. So either the next objective or the first tower to fall, it gives Los Ratones over feat of strength.
I have to admit as well, Harbo looking a little bit scary on this Ryze, and Ryze is a champion who needs time to scale up, and now 2-0-1, Archangel's finished, working towards that next item as well. I believe that'll be a Luden's companion for him. It can be very, very scary. Now, the real issue is they're committing their mid laner and their top laner, the support, sorry, to the top side of the map. Well, Dragon spawning in 5 seconds, that's the feat of strength they're looking for.
Yeah, I feel like that's a little bit of a late transition right here from Leo Lacargo. I don't feel like they were expecting Los Ratones to be towards the top side of the map, because there is nothing for them to do right there. They leave Baus on the side, push out the wave into that Ryze, and I feel like Los Ratones right here are getting a pretty free neutral objective, which will give them feats of strength, as we previously mentioned. LLS does not seem to be too interested about it. And now they kill Cassante with just one Galio.
I mean,
and
they're actually doing a fair amount of damage to him, but he's got the shield, he's got the dash away. Reckless is going to pop the ultimate as he goes in for the dive. WUs finds himself a knockup, but there is going to be a quick turnaround. Winter tries to find that turnaround himself, gets another shield off. He's doing a fair amount of work here, but Velia slides in and secures the kill. Cassante is still not balanced, apparently. That is crazy.
All I'm gonna say, they're lucky that is a 2025 version of this champion yet again. LLS used now the Cassante as a diversion to take that top lane tower, bot lane tower going down for Los Ratones. And there is a little bit of a bug with the overlay. Los Ratones actually do have feats of strength, if I'm not wrong. They've got 3 objectives, 2 dragons, and 3 void grubs, and the first blood, so we'll be able to purchase those juicy boots once the 2 item completion happens in their inventory. And right now, I feel like so far, this is a much more competitive game than the first one we saw versus Nord, because LLS are just simply not afraid to take the fight. It kind of helps that you do have a very fed Ryze you can play around as well. So LLS are actually using the Ryze to try and pressure out the lanes, but then they need to make sure they transition him right before the fights happen.
I think they have a better read on the boss's playstyle as well, which is probably helping them. And yeah, I told you, this team for Lightside genuinely are very good players with just a bad track record because of the teams they were on last year. I'm not surprised to see them performing this well. Now, yes, the game is still Los Ratones favored. Yes, they're ahead right now in both gold, the feats of strength, but they still look to be putting a fight up as they're going to teleport in. Reckless gets the 3-man pulverized. Rusty's firing away, but the Galio's coming in. They get the blades back. Can they find the turnaround? Balf goes onto Rusty. Rusty still has no ultimate available to him, so he could just go down in the middle of this, but that looks like Balf is going to lose his life to Rusty Sniper. The True Shot Barrage dodged away. Hook comes in from Leo. Nemesis trying to find the turnaround, but Crowley has arrived to the fight. Winter finds the knockoff of multiple people. Form stolen here by Velia as he continues to chase. No Harbo. Rusty low HP. Lockdown coming in, and it looks like Lightside have to limp away from the fight. That should just be Herald over to the side of Los Ratones.
Great turnaround by Los Ratones right there. Again, you cannot underestimate the power of the Galio. We saw it over in game number 1. Anyone gets caught from Los Ratones, they're all pretty tanky. Even at this point, you're looking at Velia. He does have the 2 items. He does have the extra Ruby Crystal. Whoever gets caught and you allow time for Nemesis to come through, that will be it. They're looking at the Tri-Burst, they see Velia, they want to engage, they find Reckless. Reckless is pretty tanky with the press of 1 ultimate, and Winter has used already his CC, so Nemesis gets to ult freely. And if you look over to the left side, Baus has also arrived, keeps Rusty Sniper alive, who is one of the main damage dealers now that Harbo is dead for the side of LLS. So all that's remaining for LLS is to roach out of that play and let the 2 teammates die.
A really nice turnaround there from Lightside, but honestly a solid start to the engage from Lightside as well. Honestly though, Reckless with the 3-man pole on top of the Ryze is huge. Nemesis not really going to get much here as Harbo just beating away at Bowls. Bye-bye, Monkey. Didn't have Cyclone, so didn't waste an ultimate from the Monkey there, but Winter potentially getting dove here. Is just going to jump away. Reckless comes in with the flash. Can he get this turnaround? He has the all-out available to him. Just needs the W to break away. Leo finding the lockdown for his team. No backup is quite here yet, but Velia needs to be careful. They're going to find the slow onto him. Rusty's making his way over. Teleport coming in as well. This is going to get really messy. The taunt may not be enough. Great flash by Harbo. Reckless finds yet another pole, but he does go down. Blast Cone. They're going to take the Hex Case. They're going to continue the chase on. Velia needs to try and make a break away from it. Leo looking for the hook. I don't think he's going to be able to find it. Oh my word, this is such a bloody game and it's brilliant to watch.
Yeah, Leo Lecargo as well misses the double auto attack right there. Velia just about goes invisible as the auto attack from Nautilus is about to be hammered down onto him. 6-1 and 4 onto this Viego will be pretty juicy money to whoever was able to kill him. Is not the case, gets out alive. They only lose Reckless, sacrifices himself to try and get his team away. I'm excited about this LLS team, I'm going to be honest. Taking the fight onto Los Ratones every single time. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like Los Ratones have overextended once or twice here.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't know if it's like overexcitement or we're simply that much more fed. You've got a 6, 1, and 4 Viego with 2 items in the inventory, 2 items in the inventory of this Ezreal. You're actually an entire whole item possibly up on every single opponent. So you are forcing these fights to try and take control of that advantage in the early game. So I don't blame them for that, but props to LLS for actually trying to find those picks.
Absolutely. Now we're going to see, but Loleventvods is going to start up this Dragon number 2. Hextech Soul will be an issue if they're able to pick it up. So definitely see some level of contest coming in as Nemesis gets a whole heap of damage off onto Harbo. I think the biggest issue that Harbo is having is he has no health. Every time I see him, he's at least half health. He is getting melted away as Rusty was looking to be a bit of a menace in the mid lane, but Elliot comes in, throws down the Herald. And the contest on the top side of the map is coming in. Looks like they're just going to put Reckless inside Shelly. Rusty is going to do his best to try and clear the wave away. Does have that ultimate available, and he's going to have to throw it down anytime soon. There comes the play caller. Going to get the lockdown. Reckless caught out. Harbo trying to pump in as much damage as possible, but Harbo's shield is already popped. Velia is going to secure the kill, and Rusty goes down too. Absolutely filthy play from Los Ratones. And now Winter isolated on his lonesome. Crowny continues to chase in onto him, and Winter, he's got nowhere to go. He's going down.
Actually, that was such a clever play from Los Ratones, because if you look towards the top side of the map, if you see the replay, you'd see LLS were trying to actually dive back from the top side of the map. Los Ratones deep into River. LLS think that they're actually flanking them from the mid lane, but they actually pop that Rift Herald first. So there's a split-second decision right there. Do we defend that mid lane because they're going to take our mid lane tier 1 and potentially tier 2 if we head towards the top side of the map? Or do we just ditch that mid lane and defend our top lane players returning? And it was a split decision. Half of the players stayed, half of the players went, and a great engage by Reckless and Nemesis. Again, extremely, extremely tanky, even though Rusty Sniper and Harbo put so much damage into both of them, they just couldn't get them down. And Velia, 7, 1, and 6, almost 3 items in. There you go. You see players retreating from the top side. Velia had already dipped into River. That was a split decision right there from LLS that they had to make. Unfortunately, they tried to make something happen with the mid lane, lost the mid lane tier 1, looked for a couple of kills. Velia comes through the shadows, ends it.
It is genuinely disgusting how many times Reckless gets away with like barely any health. He is being so good at baiting them to have some juicy steak, and they can't find the lockdown. Really, really clean stuff coming in from him. And yeah, I was worried about the damage, but when Viego gets this fed, damage suddenly stops being an issue. Now they've got the revives as well, so Shutdown not going to get given over. Basically consequence-free fighting. So Winter able to evade the taunt with his W, but down goes his tower. His team are not really in position to respond. They may try and look for it, though. They find the knock-up on the Nemesis. Nemesis looks for the turnaround. Remember, the revives are there for the side of Los Ratones, and already Winter has lost his life. Reckless with the ultimate on is just taking way too little damage. They can't keep it up, and they don't even lose a revive for that. They just get a kill for free.
I was about to say, okay, Velia, how good of a Cassante are you? Can you 1v4? It's not going to be the case. It's going to hold out of his form real quickly. They're looking towards that bot side. They can actually throw their bodies in. Look at both Faust and Nemesis. They have TPs. So right now is the time to dive underneath the tower, try to take kills, even end the game. You respawn, TP straight back into this fight.
Yeah, they're going to go for it. Biolsi's got his W up, steadfast presence. Rusty's been caught. He's been blown apart. Crowny secures the kill. The Grand Entrance on Galio hits nada, but Leo's falls regardless. No revives used yet. Oh no, Reckless's revive used, but he's going to pop back. Inhibitor goes down, and it's only the Nexus turret standing, and they've still got the revives to work with, so they're going to look for that taunt. Winter is going to get eaten up by one. Going to look for the kill onto Winter. He's just about able to break away from it. There's one revive, but Harbo continuing to try and fire out. Bouse just sends Harbo back, and the rest of the revives are used. But what a heavy cost for Lightside just to get the revives off the side of Los Ratones.
Wow, I actually love the aggression right here. And honestly, great call to add Atakan in the Rift, especially when it's these version and you get those juicy fights. Again, we said it. And I feel like Nemesis has been playing as if he has Atakan buff the entire game. He sees champion, you see him dashing forward, trying to get a taunt. You never know when the rest of Los Ratones is there. We've seen Winter going down 5 times. Who would think that anyone would engage onto the Cassante on the sideline? And they do. They have enough damage. 8, 1, and 8. onto a 3-item Diego. Baus.
Baus is eating a whole heap of damage, but we've seen this play before. Harbo falls in the middle of the fight as well. Hybraj is going to buy some time for his team. Velia not going to get caught out by the hook here. Rusty Sniper has the feather, the blade cooler, but he's not going to be able to use it as he is dead. Leo Lacargo, last man standing, caught up by the Justice Punch. Velia, he's the bird this time. Down he goes, double kill secured for Crownie. And Los Ratones, it just feels like they're dotting the I's and crossing the T's right now. Very little that LLS can do.
They're going to take the last Dragon right here, giving Soul over to Los Ratones. An insult to injury right there. They did have a big wave towards that bot side. They could have tried and ended. I believe right here they do have Crownie pretty low on HP, so potentially they didn't want to chance that, but you did have ultimates from Galio, you did have ultimates from Alistar, and a big fat juicy wave through that bot side with a very low Nexus tower as well. So potentially there could have been an end angle right there, but slow and steady always wins the race, and they're taking it to textbook right here. Fourth Dragon was going to give them Soul. They do have the Baron on their sides as well, and they're taking full control of that top side jungle of Highbridge.
Yeah, I think the Dragon is, the Baron and the Dragon probably the best calls for here for the side of Los Ratones. And is there any fight potential coming in? Lightside, you keep hitting them down, but they keep coming back and fighting. Reckless gonna catch on the Hybros, gets himself caught out by the hook, and the Baron's already secured. Baus chasing Rusty Sniper, who is ultless. Hybros forced to use the Cyclone already. Leo crumbles down next, and with that, support dead, 5v4. This is going to be an incredibly hard ask for the side of Lightside to hold.
Baus was just walking up. He wasn't using it.
Just menacingly walking towards him. Oh, Harbo. Harbo never has HP. I'm convinced this guy has some rune, which means he just has less HP. The ultimate comes out from Rusty, caught by the taunt. Double kill for Crownie. Hybros gets caught in the knock-up as well. They're looking for the triple onto Crownie, but Velia is going to be the one to take that one away. And now they continue to chase onto Winter. Winter going incredibly low. Back onto the fountain to try and keep himself alive. Crownie taking a little too many tower shots off the back of that one, but the Nexus is going to crumble. And it's a 2-0 start to Los Ratones. An absolutely brilliant debut in the NLC.
Last few auto attacks for the Nexus, but they're diving the Nexus actually. Screw the KDAs. Well, Baus, of course, would say that. And here's the second explosion of the day for them. Actually, sad for Nemesis. He had 0 deaths. He was